Assalamualaikum students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. बच्चों, if you are preparing for KMU-CAT exam, you already know that past papers are the key to scoring 80 plus. So in today's video, we are going to solve most repeated original KMU-CAT third test part 1 past paper. Step by step with simple clear explanations so you can master the concepts and not just memorize the answers. So make sure to watch till end because this video contains only first 50 MCQs and rest will be discussed in the next video. So without wasting time, let's jump into question number 1. So first question is Planck's constant has the dimension of. Correct answer is option D, that is angular momentum. The body in equilibrium must not have. Correct answer is option D, that is acceleration, because in equilibrium F net is equals to 0 and acceleration is equals to 0. So velocity, momentum and kinetic energy can exist. The area under the acceleration time graph represents. Correct answer is option C, that is change in velocity. The rocket's motion in space is according to the law of conservation of. Correct answer is option D, that is momentum, because rocket propulsion works on conservation of linear momentum. The particle of mass has momentum p, then its kinetic energy will be. Correct answer is option D, that is p square by 2m. A helicopter of mass 3 × exponent 3 kg raises vertically with the constant speed of 2 meters per second. What resultant force acts on the helicopter? Correct answer is option A, that is 0, because constant speed, that is acceleration, is equals to 0, then F net is equals to 0. So your resultant force will also be 0. If the mass of the body is made 3 times and the velocity becomes double, then the kinetic energy will increase. Correct answer is option B, that is 12 times. So here the formula you'll be using is kinetic energy directly proportional to mv square. Then you'll put the values and you get the answer 12. Angle that a body transverse at the center of a circle in 2 turns revolution is. Correct answer is option D, that is all of the above, because 2 revolution is equals to 4 pi radians, that is 720 degrees, and if we further calculate it, so it becomes 12.56 radians. A circular disk of mass m and radius r is rotating about its axis with uniform speed v. Its kinetic energy is. Correct answer is option B, that is half mv square. If the amplitude of wave at a distance r from a point source is a, then amplitude at a distance 2r will be. Correct answer is option C, that is a by 2, because for spherical wave amplitude is directly proportional to 1 by r. The ratio between the velocity of sound in air at 4 atm in that at 3 atm will be. Correct answer is option A, that is 1:1, because for the ideal gas at constant temperature, pressure doesn't affect the speed of sound. The device which can be used for precise measurement of wavelength is. Correct answer is option D, that is Michelson interferometer. Which thermodynamic temperature is equivalent to 501.25 degrees C? Correct answer is option C. A charge divided into 2 parts q and q minus q and separated by a distance far, the force of repulsion between them will be maximum when. Correct answer is option B, that is q is equals to q by 2. A closed surface contains equal and opposite charges. The net electric flux to the closed surface is. Correct answer is option C, that is 0. A wire of uniform cross section A length L and resistance R is cut into two equal pieces, the resistivity of each will be, correct answer is option A, that is the same, because resistivity is material property that is independent of size. If the direction of the initial velocity of a charged particle is neither along nor perpendicular to that of the magnetic field, then the orbit will be, correct answer is option B, that is helix. An electron enters a magnetic field acting vertically downwards with velocity v from east. The electron is deflected along, correct answer is option D, that is south. Because if you use Fleming left hand rule, the negative charge, for the negative charge, force is opposite. Mechanical energy spent by the external agency is converted into electrical energy stored in the coil. This relates to, correct answer is option C, that is Lenz's law, because Lenz's law states that induced EMF opposes the change. Conversion of alternating current to direct current is called, correct answer is option B, that is rectification, because the device used for AC to DC conversion is called rectifier and rectification is the process. If the speed of the moving particle increases, the wavelength associated with it will, correct answer is option B, that is decreases. Because from de Broglie equation we see that wavelength is inversely proportional to velocity. The intensity of X-rays depends upon, correct answer is option D, that is all of the above. Because X-ray intensity is directly proportional to filament current and quality or hardness depends on the voltage and target material. Laser beam can be sharply focused because it is, correct answer is option E, that is highly coherent, because lasers have high coherence plus low divergence, so they can be focused to a very small spot. Atomic mass unit in terms of energy is nearly equal to, correct answer is option B, that is 931 MeV. The activity of radioactive material can be expressed in the unit, correct answer is option D, that is both A and B, which are Curie and Becquerel, because both are units of activity. Uranium-235 decays the thorium-234 by the process of, correct answer is option C, that is alpha radiation. Which of the following organelles is responsible for cellular respiration? Correct answer is option C, that is mitochondria, because mitochondria is powerhouse of the cell. What is the term for the process by which plants convert light energy into chemical energy? Correct answer is option A, that is photosynthesis. Which of the following is not a function of the liver? Correct answer is option C, that is digestion, because liver aids digestion by producing bile. But actual digestion occurs in small intestine. Liver doesn't digest the food. In humans, which type of blood vessels carries oxygenated blood away from the heart? So correct answer is option B, that is artery. Always remember that arteries carry blood away from the heart. Most arteries carry oxygenated blood, and also aorta is the largest artery. It is also one of the most repeated KMU-CAT MCQs. Which hormone is responsible for regulating blood sugar levels in the human body? Correct answer is option A, that is insulin, because insulin secreted by the pancreas lowers our blood glucose levels. What is the largest organ in the human body? Correct answer is option C, that is skin, because skin is the largest organ by surface area and weight. Which of the following is a sex-linked genetic disorder? Correct answer is option C, that is hemophilia, because hemophilia is X-linked recessive disorder and it is very more common in males. Which process involves the movement of molecules from an area of higher concentration to an area of lower concentration and does not require energy? Correct answer is option C, that is diffusion, because diffusion is a passive movement down the concentration gradient. Which part of a plant primarily carries out photosynthesis? Correct answer is option C, that is leaves, because leaves contain chlorophyll in chloroplast for photosynthesis. What is the functional unit of nervous system? Correct answer is option A, that is neuron, because neuron is the basic structural and functional unit of nervous system. Which of the following is not a type of muscle in the human body? Correct answer is option D, that is cartilage muscle, because there are only three types of muscles, that is smooth muscles, cardiac muscles and skeletal muscles. Cartilage is just a connective tissue. What is the primary function of RBCs? Correct answer is option A, that is transport of oxygen, because RBCs contain hemoglobin which combines with the oxygen. Which type of cell division results in the production of gametes? Correct answer is option B, that is meiosis, because meiosis reduces the chromosome number by half to form the gametes. What is the smallest bone in human body? Yes, you are correct. The correct answer is option C, that is stapes, and it is present in the middle ear ossicles. In which part of digestive system does the majority of nutrient absorption occurs? Correct answer is option B, that is small intestine, because villi and microvilli in the small intestine increases the absorption area. Which of the following is a viral disease that primarily affects the? Correct answer is option C, that is AIDS, because AIDS is caused by HIV virus which attacks immune system. Which of the following is responsible for the formation of antibodies in response to an infection? Correct answer is option B, that is B cells, because B lymphocytes produce antibodies. What is the function of cerebellum in the brain? So correct answer is option B, that is control of voluntary muscle movements and balance. Always remember, cerebellum coordinates movement and posture. What is the role of white blood cells in the immune system? So correct answer is option B, that is phagocytosis, because white blood cells engulf pathogens, some also produce antibodies. Which part of a cell is responsible for protein synthesis? So correct answer is option B, that is ribosomes. Ribosomes assemble amino acids into proteins. Which of the following is responsible for the breakdown of fatty acids and detoxification of alcohol in the liver? So correct answer is option A, that is peroxisomes. It is also one of the most repeated KMU-CAT MCQs. Which of the following is an example of an autotrophic organism? Correct answer is option C, that is algae. Because autotrophs make their own food, algae perform photosynthesis, whereas rabbit, mushrooms, tapeworms are heterotrophs. Which enzyme is responsible for breaking down starch into maltose in the human digestive system? Correct answer is option C, that is amylase, because salivary and pancreatic amylase break starch into maltose. And that wraps up today's KMU-CAT past paper solution. If this breakdown helped clarify your concepts, hit that like button and share it with your fellow entry test prep partners. And must stay tuned for the next part 2 of this video. मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए अल्लाह हाफिज।